Hello everyone, welcome to the Armageddon Championship Series Grand Final. We are happy to broadcast live from Berlin and our studios. This is the show that hits you harder than a double-decker bus travelling at the speed of light. I'm Grandmaster Simon Williams, and I'm here with the lovely, the amazing, the fantastic International Master, Jovanka Houska.
Simon, it's an incredible pleasure to be here. This is, after all, the first day of our fifth and final tournament. It is the grand finale, and, well, I can't wait to see what is in store. We have our 8 players. Take a look at some of those names.
We have some great players lined up for your entertainment. Some of the best players in the world. Just take a look at those names there. And it's going to be incredible matchups all the way through. Wesley So, Duda, Richard Rapport, Nodirbek, Sam Shankland, Gukesh, Bibisara, Humpy. There's too much going on, Jovanka.
It's too much. I mean, these players have an accolade of titles between them. They are the best. They are the most exciting players in the world. And let's have a recap at how they all came into the final.
In 2023, the World Chess Club Berlin was host to the premiere of the Armageddon Series show. 4 tournaments, 2 qualifiers, each time leading to a grand finale with a prize fund of 200,000 euros. The first leg of the series had players from the Americas battle it out in March 2023. In a field where experience rubbed shoulders with youth, it was USA's Wesley So and Sam Shankland who reached the final. So arrived there unscathed and met Shankland, who was nothing but out for revenge. So was ruthless in the final. A month later, the Asia and Oceania series kicked off. The likes of former world champion Vladimir Kramnik and Danny Dubov would have to battle it out with young prodigies such as Gukesh or Abdusattorov. The 2 youngest players showed the rest of the pack they had what it takes already, despite their age. The young talents have become seasoned pros. In May 2023, some of the best women players on the planet met in our signature Women's Week. Former world champion Alexandra Kostyniuk, Nana Zadnikze, Sara Kadam, Gurney Mamedzada. There was no shortage of stars. The final saw Grandmaster Humpy Koneru suffer defeat at the hands of 2-time Blitz world champion 18-year-old Bibisara Assaubayeva in a crucial battle. Last but not least was the Europe and Africa's series. Jordan Van Forest, Maxime Vachier-Legrave, Richard Rapport, Michael Adams, to name a few. In a tournament with no clear favourite, it quickly seemed that Richard Rapport would have no match. He won in convincing style down to the final, where he inflicted a 2-0 score on Poland's #1 Jan-Krzysztof Duda. However, Duda will be given a chance to retaliate this week. A field of Wesley So, Sam Shankland, Gukesh, Nodirbek Abdusattorov, Humpy Koneru, Bibisara Assaubayeva, Richard Rapport and Jan-Krzysztof Duda will try and become the Armageddon Series champion this week, but also the lion's share of the 200,000 euro prize pool.
Yeah, this is, of course, the grand finale. It's what we've all been waiting for. It's been building up for months, Simon.
I'm very excited. We've got some fantastic players, and this is what we've been building up for. It's going to be going on over the week. It's going to be great and fascinating to watch.
Yeah, it is the ultimate chess showdown of the year. And there we can see from March till June, we've had 4 amazing tournaments. It is the Americas, Asia and Oceania, Europe and Africa. And finally, it's been a special week, the Women's Week.
And we started with 32 of the strongest players in the world competing for a spot for this, the grand final. And only 8 of them have made it through. And all the games will be played and everything will be broadcast here from the World Chess Club. Does amazing cocktails in Berlin. And this is now make or break time. We've got this far. Who will become the ultimate Armageddon champion? And, well, we're going to find out over the next week.
Yeah, we certainly are. And Simon, this is a really special event. And yesterday we kicked off with a very special opening event. And there we see the local players all playing chess. because after all, this is the World Chess Club in Berlin, and the cool DJ and an even cooler hand and brain tournament, which, Simon, I think we will find that you were commentating there as well.
I was. It was a lovely event. You can see the great vibes here at the World Chess Club in Berlin. Some famous faces there, famous chess players, and it was great to see the hand and brain, the top players paired up with youngsters. There's me talking a load of rubbish probably, but trying to make it interesting, and even Jovanka played a hand and brain game. But if you are in Berlin and you are a chess lover, this is a place to be.
This is certainly the place to be, and this is the event to watch. And of course, we have to mention our partners. As a technology and digital privacy company, Kaspersky supports the secure advancement of chess in the digital space and its expansion into online tournaments. It's a perfect combination of human excellence and strong technology.
And all the draws, all the pairings, we'll come and have a look at them very soon, but they were made randomly, and it's a very interesting lineup. And I think we should have a look now at the bracket. And the important thing to bear in mind here is that it's a double elimination format. That means if one player loses, they don't go home, they drop down to the lower bracket. They basically get a second chance at winning the title. But of course, better to not lose in the first place.
No, better not to lose. And well, we've said it time and time again, this day is going to be epic. We already have some legendary clashes, because take a look at this. It is a battle between titans. Gukesh, who's fast becoming a legend in his own right at just the tender age of 17, will be facing off against Wesley So, whereas Jan-Krzysztof Duda meets Sam Shankland.
Yeah, some really exciting matches. And our first match is Gukesh versus Wesley So. And I'm so excited about this. Did you see what I did there? Very clever, I thought. And it's going to be a great matchup. But let's have a bit of a deeper dive and investigate the players playing.
Yeah, there we have the Indian phenomenon, just 17 years old, became a grandmaster at, get this, 12 years old. That's a scary statistic. And in 2022 won the Olympiad gold medal. And not only that, he recently became India's #1. You know, a fine record for the Indian teenager. He's also in the world's top 8. And let's take a look at how Gukesh got himself into the final.
In September 2023, 17-year-old Gukesh from India made it into the world top 10 for the first time ever. In round 1 of the Asia and Oceania series, he beat his more experienced counterpart, Yu Yangyi from China. He then crossed swords with yet another potential future world champion, Nodirbek Abdusattorov. In this encounter, it seemed that Gukesh's nervous system held a bit better than Abdusattorov's, and after a nail-biting Armageddon, he had to deal with Vladimir Kramnik. These two worked a little together in the past, and it once more took Gukesh another Armageddon to overcome the 14th world champion. In the final, Gukesh met again with Abdusattorov. After winning one mini-match each, Gukesh had the final say. The young Indian is not the same player as 5 months ago. Will his progress prove sufficient to become the first ever Armageddon Series winner?
A formidable player, Gukesh, already at his tender age, and as Jovanka mentioned, he's just become Indian #1, so he's on his way up. And someone who's always been at the top is Wesley So. And let's have a look now at Wesley So's details. And Wesley became a grandmaster at the age of 15. He is a brilliant player, one of the world's elite players, and he has been for a long period of time. He's been 3-time champion of America, and he is just a class act. So this first match, well, is going to be exciting. And let's take a deeper dive now at how Wesley ended up in the final.
As he belongs to the 2700 plus club for over 10 years, America's Wesley So needs no introduction. In round 1 of the Americas, Wesley survived a one-move scare against his compatriot Sam Shankland that could have sent him packing, and went on to inflict defeat on him. He then had to deal with Peru's Renato Terry, whose daring play and creativity showed no shortage of optimism. Wesley didn't lose his cool when his opponent surprised him on move 1, and he could further hope to qualify for the grand finale. The semis put Andrew Tang on Wesley's road, a lightning-fast chess specialist with nerves of steel. In that match, where he represents experience, Wesley was yet again unflappable and reached the finals. Wesley's years at the top came in handy as he won the finals 2-0 in quite convincing fashion. Can he confirm his status in the grand finale? Others will have a say, but wherever So plays, you can count him as a favourite.
Certainly a clash between the favourites, and we are less than 1 minute from the start of this epic battle. And let's remind ourselves of the rules. The players will be playing 2 games of Blitz at a time control of 3 minutes plus 2 seconds per move. And if the match is tied after these 2 games, everything, I mean everything, will be decided by Armageddon.
It's quick, it's furious, and Armageddon means one player, the player of the white pieces, gets 5 minutes. The player in the black pieces get 4 minutes, but white needs to win. There's also no time added on. And there's a lot of prize money at stake. 80,000 euros first prize. And here is our lovely arbiter.
Yeah, Anastasia Sorokina, she's a women international master and an outstanding FIDE arbiter, and she'll be there watching the players like hawks. And the players, they are ready. They're 3 seconds away. We see Gukesh with the white pieces, Wesley So, the ever unflappable, unshakable, playing with the black pieces, and they are off. We have the first move, and Gukesh opening with the queen's pawn and choosing a system called the fianchetto variation, where the bishop gets developed onto the longest diagonal on the board. It's a very solid system. Will he be able to press home an advantage against Wesley?
Yes, we see they're all in theory. These 3 stages of the game, the opening, middle game and ending. And this opening stage is well worked out at this level. And the players, grandmasters, they spend lots of time studying this part of the game, knowing the right things to do. Also, make sure you keep an eye on the heart rates. You can see the heart rate monitors. Wesley was in the red there at some point, going over 120. And we have the evaluation bar. That is the bar on the right-hand side. If it swings up in white's favour, that means Gukesh is doing very well. If it goes in black's favour, Wesley is taking the lead. And this all seems to be played before. Jovanka seems quite a symmetrical and even position so far.
Totally, but you know, one thing that is surprising is the way the players are both rattling off those moves. Neither of them seems to be pausing for thought, so it seems that both of them are in their home openings. Home preparation is what I want to say.
Yeah, definitely, and especially Gukesh here, because Gukesh's speed, he's got more time than he started with. He's laughing at Wesley, saying, ha 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 ha, I've done my homework, Wesley. Have you done your homework, Wesley? And I don't know if Wesley has, because he's now having a bit of a think here. And that last move, Gukesh's queen swings out, and that attacks a black pawn. Black can actually take a pawn here, but instead black brings the knight back, offering an exchange of bishops.
It does offer an exchange of bishop, but look at that! The evaluation bar there on the right has swung all the way in white's favor, and you can see that Wesley So senses that maybe this position is quite shaky for him, because his heart rate shot up to 140, and Gukesh pausing.
And I think Gukesh can just win the exchange. He has the bishop comes out, attacks the queen. When the queen moves, you capture the rook. And now this is a very bad position already for Wesley. Gukesh's opening preparation has worked perfectly. Wesley's heart rate going up. The pawn attacking the queen. When the queen moves, white's bishop worth 3 points will capture the rook worth 5 points. That means Gukesh is going to win 2 points. And at this level, Jovanka, 2 points is a lot of points.
It is a lot of points, and it's a lot of material as well. And the position is really open, which means that those rooks will have extra powers. Remember, rooks like those open lines. And now we do see Gukesh just net that extra material. Now it's all about just neutralizing the bishop pair. So Wesley, he just has to hold on. He has to run Gukesh's clock down, because once the clock starts ticking down to around 20 seconds, anything can happen.
That's right, you can see that Gukesh's heart rate has also gone up to match Wesley's there. He is getting very excited about winning the material. One thing you've got to do in chess though is not think about winning too much. You've got to concentrate on what's happening on the board. This last move, the knight was attacked by black's rook, so the knight moves out of the way, and now Wesley moves his knight, trying to activate his pieces. Gukesh can grab a pawn here with the queen. Is he going to do that? He does.
Do it.
He dives in.
Yeah, Gukesh is not one to shy away from combative play. And there you go. He takes on the challenge. And now the rook swoops down to the 8th row and offers a trade. Oh dear, this is looking hopeless for Wesley.
Yeah, Wesley just got tricked in the opening there. This is why the opening, the start of the game, it's like a battle. You need to start your battle well. If you throw your troops into the wrong area, they can get in a lot of trouble quickly, and this is what's happened to Wesley's troops. We see another exchange of rooks. When you've got extra points, it is recommended you try to swap pieces off, because you get to the end game. We're getting near to the end game now, the last part of the game, and those extra points count more in the ending. It's like having more soldiers, but lots of them being eliminated. And you can see here also, Jovanka, white's got this big pawn on the left hand side.
I was looking at that. You know, that pawn is going to start advancing, but first of all, Gukesh's clock is running down to the minute mark, and Gukesh has to keep the position solid. So I would probably drop the queen back. Okay, first, okay, he decides to move the queen forward, and well, he's initiating some tactical ideas. The knight is going to spring into the middle of the board should the black queen come down and grab some material.
Yeah, I like this move. It's a very active move. That queen move is pinning, and this is a technical term, the black dark square bishop, the bishop on the dark square down. And Wesley is trying to get active now. He moves his knight into the center, and Gukesh defends that pawn. But can Wesley still capture that pawn with check? I think he should do. When you've got a bad position, you might as well go on the attack. Can Wesley do that? Get a check in. Knight takes pawn is a big check. He's trying to work it out now. The problem with that move is you could also get in trouble because that knight is pinned, but he's gone for it, Jovanka.
He's done it. I mean, I think it was the only shot. It was that or resigns. Okay, and now I'm expecting Gukesh to march the king. Well, move the king one square to the left.
There is a trap here. If you go into the corner of the board, you could lose the game. This is the only move. Gukesh found it. He's got to defend his rook with his king. And now the black knight is under attack. And I wasn't sure what Wesley was going to do here. I was leaving it for him to work out. That's the joy of being a commentator. We don't have to work out all the moves, because the threat here is rook takes knight. And that would mean Wesley is under too much pressure. Look at his clock, Jovanka.
It's ticking down, and the heart rate is still high, up to 131. Is he going to retreat the bishop, try to pin the rook? No, instead he moves the queen to attack the knight on f3. And Gukesh, just very merciless here, offers a trade of queens. Beautiful play. Once the queen comes off, it is game over for Wesley.
And Wesley is getting down, and he resigns. Wesley So resigns. The first game, we have a winner, and the opening just went so badly wrong for Wesley So there. Great game from Gukesh though.
Yeah, it was really odd. Both of them rattling out the moves, looking as if they were in the home theory, and then suddenly Wesley blunders everything. And there we can see Gukesh takes the lead, winning with the white pieces. And now Wesley, well, cometh the hour, cometh the man. He has to win with white on demand.
He does, and a nice game to start us off, but Wesley not on top form there, and Gukesh really punishing for one mistake. Chess is an unforgiving game. You make a little mistake and you lose the game, and you could even get knocked out. Well, it is double elimination, so that will come later, but we should have a look at some of the highlights from that game. And this was the opening stage where the pawn structure did go a bit peculiar, but it just seemed like Gukesh was much better prepared for the opening, Jovanka.
Yeah, totally. Gukesh there playing very quickly, playing very natural moves. There we see him protecting his dark square bishop. And it was later on where the big blunder occurred.
That's right, and you only have to make one mistake, as we mentioned, and this is where it occurred. And you can watch the white bishop attacking the queen, and now the white pawn attacking the queen, and finally that queen, the black queen, has to move, otherwise the pawn will capture it, and when it does, the rook was taken, and Gukesh won 2 points, and that's enough at this level. 2 points is too many.
Yeah, it certainly is. And there we see Gukesh being precise as always, capturing the material, actually going on the offensive, using all his extra pieces there. We see a trade of rooks, and we just see how clinical Gukesh is in the closing moments.
Yeah, you've got to finish out the game as well. I mean, you can get really excited when you get a winning position, but it's having that focus and determination which will put it into a point, and Gukesh showed that determination there. So really good start for Gukesh.
You're very promising, and he made it look easy. We have to remind ourselves that Wesley is one of the strongest players in the world. He rarely blunders. He's unshakable. And there we saw Wesley just falling down to Gukesh.
Not so solid today.
Not so solid,
Yeah,
no.
we might have to change Wesley's name from Wesley So Solid to Not So Solid. Well, we'll see. We have another game coming up, and we know what Wesley has to do in that game. Wesley has to win to take it to Armageddon. And before we go there, let's just have a look at the end of the game. And as Jovanka pointed out at the time, this is a brilliant move. When you've got extra points, get rid of the queens. And the reason that Wesley resigned here is that the queens are going to come off, queen for a queen, and he doesn't have any hope there because white's rook is too strong. At this level, that makes a big, big difference, having that extra material. Only 1 minute until game 2, though.
I know, and what's it going to be for Gukesh? You know, he has the black pieces. Wesley, he has a formidable opening repertoire. How is he going to handle that?
Well, Wesley's got to go for it. He's got to try to put some pressure on Gukesh, and I don't know what the opening's going to be. I expect the pawn in front of the king is going to move forwards. You know, do you like my little moving, my hand movement there? That's the pushing technique. You can have the hop as well, but that's, you know, I don't know, you're a hopper or a pusher?
No, I'm pusher.
You're a pusher.
And 25 seconds, Simon. I'm not sure whether the pawn in front of the king will move 2 squares forward, because Gukesh will counter that with also responding with his king's pawn 2 squares. So 10 seconds. How can Wesley unsettle his young opponent? 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Will we see something flashy? And that is it. We are getting our second game.
And it is the king's pawn opening, and Gukesh is playing the king's pawn as well. This is what's called the Italian variation of chess, and both sides developing very quickly. Developing means getting your pieces into the game. Your pieces are so important. You need to get them as quickly into the battlefield as you can. And again, this is theory. What we mean by that, it's all been analyzed before. But you've got to know what you're doing. You've got to have a reason behind each move. You've got to tell yourself, I'm moving this here for this reason. White gaining space on the queen side there, Jovanka.
And this is a very trendy opening played by Wesley So. First of all, note where the dark square bishop is. It's come out to pin the knight. This is all the rage. But black now has to deal with this dilemma. Do you break the pin by pushing that g-pawn 2 squares forward, or do you live with your uncomfortable presence? And Gukesh is like, no, I'm gonna break that pin and try to resolve the situation.
Love it. I love that aggressive move from Gukesh, but it is a bit risky because of the match situation. You can see the black king is not castled. It's in the middle of the board. So if Wesley can open up the middle of the board, which he's going to try to do now, the black king could get under attack, and that could be very good news for Wesley So. Look at that black king. It's got its pieces, giving it a bit of a cuddle there in the middle of the board. They're saying, "Hello, king. I'm just gonna give you a little bit of a cuddle. Extra pillows around you there, sir."
They do say a knight is a king's best friend. Remember that if you are in a difficult position. And we do see Wesley initiating action in the center, breaking through. Well, for Gukesh, it's all about maintaining that center, because he cannot just open up the position because his king is not ready to hide into safety. So I'm expecting the knight to jump out to the g6 square and hold on to that stronghold on the e5 square.
Yeah, I mean, it seems very strange for black, this leaving the king in the middle, but at the moment, if black can keep those pawns in front of the king, it should be all right. The evaluation bar thinking the position is about even, but that last move is a mistake. Look at the evaluation bar jump up in Wesley So's favor.
That's brave, but it might be too reckless, Simon. He's not looking after the king. He's not looking after the center. Well, and there we see Wesley pause. And he senses now is the time to calculate. And you have to remember, these two guys, they are amazing calculators. So Wesley is now looking at what's going to happen once he hits that red button and captures in the middle of the board.
He needs to think here, and he can give up the piece, as Jovanka's saying, by going pawn takes pawn. But that would mean Gukesh can move the H-pawn. We like calling the H-pawn. That pawn is just moved. Harry, because it's on the H file. Harry the H-pawn up the board again, and all hell will break loose on the board there.
Yeah, totally. Another option is just to advance the H-pawn. Oh, no.
Oh, I
thought it was going to be 2 squares forward.
I don't
and
like this.
secure the G5 square for the knight. Oh, no. This is one step in, not in the right direction, actually. It's just one step too little.
I think Wesley there, he had to play a bit more aggressively. When you need to win the game, you can't play timidly. You need to take the game to your opponent and play super aggressive. But it's still a very interesting position. Wesley moving his bishop into the middle. The evaluation bar saying black is doing well, but black's king is still extremely exposed there, and white can try to take advantage of that. I think he's getting ready for his knight to now move to where that bishop had come from. You can see the knight in front of white's queen. That can start moving forwards. I actually quite like this idea.
Yeah, I like it too, but there are two people playing that game, and Gukesh, he is not one to shirk away from the challenge, and there we see him attack the knight on f3, and big decision for Wesley, because it looks to me like he has to trade those pawns, and now that rook on h8, it has a line. The white king is under fire.
Gukesh is playing so bravely here. He only needs to draw. Let's just remind everyone, Wesley needs to win this game, but Gukesh is playing like an absolute lunatic. He's saying, I don't care about my king. I'm going for your king. The rook, as Jovanka pointed out, on the right-hand side, the black rook has that open line towards white's king. And if black can get the queen over there as well, it could get very dangerous. But the black king is feeling a little bit sorry for itself, isn't it there? It's saying, Gukesh, why did you do this to me? Why, Gukesh? Why?
And the clock is also asking the same question as well, because Gukesh has gone down to under the minute. And you do have to remember that the more the time goes down for the players, the more is likely that the players will make a blunder, and the position is just razor sharp. And there we see Gukesh pawn grabbing in the middle. How will Wesley respond? Will he trade pawns? Will he spring forward with the knight to c4? Will he maybe go pawn grabbing himself and play knight takes pawn? So many possibilities.
Very complicated position. It's warfare everywhere, and he's using his knight to go forwards, and Gukesh grabs another pawn. He is fearless, Gukesh. And look at this move from Wesley. I like that move a lot. He sacrifices a third pawn there. Really brave play from Wesley. And I think now he can move his queen into the middle of the board and start attacking Gukesh's position. The more I'm looking at Jovanka, the more I'm really liking white's chances here.
Yeah, Wesley is playing magnificent chess, and there, with that queen in the middle, he went and grabbed a pawn on b6, but surely that one's irrelevant. The action is happening in the middle of the board, not to the left.
Yeah, and this gives Gukesh a chance to develop another piece. He brings his bishop out, just trying to get more pieces into the game. And I think it's going to come down to whose king is weaker. And Wesley now trying to take that pawn, but keep an eye on the clock. 40 seconds or under each. They do get a bit of time added on each move, but it's not a lot of time to think in such a complex situation.
The position is just so chaotic. It's going to implode or explode at any moment. And there we see a trade, and Wesley contemplating, should he capture with the pawn or the queen? He goes for the pawn. Okay, now the black king looking really shaky there on the open E line. If Wesley could just coordinate a way that he could remove that knight from e5, he would be winning. Instead, he drops the queen back, and there is the threat of rook takes pawn as well.
Yeah, both kings under some fire here, and Gukesh now is getting his queen behind the rook, but that knight in the middle is pinned down, and maybe Wesley can just shuffle his rook over, get the white rook also lining up against the black knight. He's got to move quickly. He's got to keep the pressure on Gukesh to take this to Armageddon. The heart rates, understandably, going up, up and up. That's an interesting move, throwing the queen in.
Yeah, and we do see the queen return. Of course, Wesley cannot draw this game. A draw is as good as a loss, and there you go. He's played your move there, Simon, lining up everything on the E line.
That's right, but look, that black knight is doing such a good job in the middle. The black knight is like a rock. It's stopping white's pieces from getting through, but the clock times. Wesley, 8 seconds, my friend. You've got to play quickly. Gukesh running down with his pawns now. Those pawns, they're looking very scary there.
5
getting nearer and nearer the end.
This position is going wild. Gukesh is just going to run his pawns up the left side of the board. They are unstoppable, and that's why Wesley decides to
I think Wesley's blundered. I think he's just sacrificed or lost a piece there. And Gukesh has now got a piece up as well, Jovanka.
Yeah, but anything can happen when the players have so little time on the clock. It's about holding the nerve, and Wesley winning a pawn. He's still a piece down.
Yeah, we've got to count the material, and at the moment it is Gukesh who has the extra knight, but whose king is going to be in more danger? The black king is a little bit exposed there, and you can see the black king is looking, to my eyes, like it can be under some attack. Wesley moving his pieces to attack that king.
And
did he lose on time? I think he lost on time. Wow, Gukesh wins on time in a chaotic and crazy position. We have our first player to go through to the next round. It is the Indian #1 player, Gukesh. Look at their heart rates there. God, go and see a doctor, guys. You need to have a cup of tea after that one.
I think a stiff drink, Simon. What a roller coaster of a game. Gukesh taking that match 2 points to nothing. But boy, that game had us on tenterhooks. I could not believe what I was seeing. You know, you can see the evaluation bar swing from left to up and down, going crazy. Wow.
The evaluation bar didn't know what was going on, and Gukesh just seemed to keep his nerve a little bit better than Wesley So. Wesley is a great player. He did create some chances there, but Gukesh was just so cool. He's a cool customer, Gukesh. Must be one of the favourites to take the title, but it's time to have a look at some highlights, and there was a lot of them from this game. So where is our first one?
Yeah, and here, this is where the chaos button was initiated, where we see Gukesh take a very aggressive approach there in the middle game by advancing his pawns there on the right forward. And Wesley perhaps not reacting in the most active of ways, but the position is still incredibly complicated.
Yeah, there were so many tactics there. It was a really exciting game. All the pieces stayed on the board. Both kings were under attack there. There were tactics. Just the kind of game I like. I love a little bit of chaos on the board. And here, Wesley gave up a couple of pawns. This was inspired play by Wesley. This next move, a brilliant move, because it allowed the white queen to come plonk into the middle of the board. I would say plonk after that move. Just plonk. And the white queen came in, and it looked like white was getting very good counterplay there, but Gukesh held his nerve quite excellently.
Yeah, and this is the moment where things really swung in Gukesh's favor. We do see Black's king still relatively safe, but it's all about those pawns there on the right side of the board. They are running through to the destination, to promotion on the 8th row, and Wesley could not handle that pressure, and there he blunders a piece.
Yeah, you can see a little shake of the head there. I think Wesley realizes that that was not working. That knight taking the pawn. The knight actually got itself lost there. And the end of the game was very chaotic. But just keep an eye on the clock here. A very important factor of the match. And Wesley's time and probably position there was just too much. And it means we have our first player to go through.
Yeah. And whoa, what a game. I mean, seconds left. I mean, it's what we expected, right, from these guys.
Yeah, we were expecting very exciting chess, and we got it. And let's now go over to have an interview with the loser, Wesley.
Wesley, tough game today. What do you think was the reason of your loss?
Well, I mean, several reasons. I guess Gukesh played very well, played like a machine today. And yeah, I didn't think he was this good at blitz. He's more of a classical player. Also, I was a bit nervous being the first day.
We could actually see that in your heart rate. Do you think the nervousness was the reason of your moves?
Well, one of the reasons, but I also think things happen so fast. But also my opponent played very well, so could also that.
Was 98 in the first game a blunder?
Yeah, for sure. For sure, looking back, just hang a rook.
What were you
everything.
What were you calculating with the knight g4 in the second game?
Oh, with the knight xg4? Yeah, I just got really low on time, and I thought I had a good position before that, but I mixed up everything, and then with my queen d4 I had good chances, but I spent some time taking pawns, which never. And then he found his b5, b4, and I just got nervous with being 2 pawns down. White's position was probably lost at that case. At that point, in any case. But the good thing about this tournament is you have 2 lives, so.
Well, you definitely had a lot of chances in the second game, but okay, well, what are the lessons that you're going to take out of this match in order to prepare for your second chance?
Well, not too many. There are only 2 games, but try not to arrive too nervous at the board. Try to play better, try to play faster. It's always you always need to mix up between playing good moves and playing quickly, and I wasn't able to do that today. But yeah, hopefully Gukesh will continue his form. I mean, I think he played really well today. So.
Well, let's say that's not the first time you're playing this format. Did you somehow have a special preparation for it? Like, you knew you were going to play Blitz, right?
Yeah. yeah, of course. I knew going to play Blitz. I knew it was going to be a tough format. You kind of need some luck in order to win this tournament, I think. Things happen so fast. And yeah, it is what it is. It's an exciting format. I had good games in the past. This today just didn't work out. Well, I guess you gotta arrive very sharp and very aggressive on the board.
Okay, Wesley, well, take some good rest and see you very soon again.
Yeah, hopefully be back for better play next time. Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Dina. And we are here in the studio with Gukesh. And first of all, I want to say welcome back to Berlin. And secondly, congratulations on what was a roller coaster of a match. Very, very exciting. How was it for you?
Thank you. It's nice to be back in Berlin. I enjoyed the last time and I'm again very happy to be here. The match was quite interesting. The first game, I mean, I knew this queen a3 trick, and yeah, he was not very familiar with the position and he just blundered the exchange. And I had some. Sorry?
Were you surprised that he blundered this way?
Yeah, a bit, because Wesley usually doesn't blunder so much. But I mean, this position after queen a3 is already quite tricky, so it's understandable. And okay, after that my conversion was not very clean, but it was good enough, I think. And in the second game, yeah, he chose this bishop g5 Italian, which is a very good line in a must-win situation, and he got some chances. Maybe ed4 was a mistake, but he got some chances. I was just trying to play fast, and yeah, it was just a mess after that.
It looked very complicated when he played queen d4 in that second game. We thought he might be taking over the game there a little bit. Were you concerned a bit at that point after queen d4?
Yeah, surely after knight c4 b6 already I knew I should be worse. But yeah, I was just trying to play moves just to put him under pressure on the time.
Yeah. And did you come with a game plan?
Sorry?
Did you come with a game plan? So, you know, because in the second game you just had to draw and you chose a sharp opening.
Yeah. I mean, I just tried to play my usual stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, if White wants a fight, I thought it's fine. I'll just play a game. because in Blitz it's anyways hard to have full control. So it's just
Yeah, it looked very exciting, the whole game, but also we must say congratulations for coming Indian #1. That must be amazing, to overtake the legend Anand. I mean, how does that feel to be #1 in your country?
It feels very good, for sure. I had it coming for the past few months, so I did not really feel such an awe like when it happened, but yeah, it's surely a very nice thing for me.
Congratulations, yeah. And I think we have a graphic we can have a look here and just see your heart rate. So you got your heart rate to 137. Wesley there, 165 is a little bit scary, but 137. Did you expect it to go so high?
I knew that in like time scrambles or very tense situations, especially when I'm about to clinch the game or match, I knew it would go high, but the average must be around 100, yeah, because I usually manage around...
You were pretty calm. You were pretty calm most of the way. You seem like a very calm player. So, would you say you're a calm player?
Maybe on the outside, but...
the inside, it's not the same. Yeah.
Especially that second game when you just had seconds left on the clock. And Wesley was also down. And I was just wondering, how do you guys keep up the tension?
I mean, it kind of helped that he blundered a piece.
It always helps when the opponent blunders, in blitz chess. And so you're back here again. I mean, you've been in Berlin before. Did you like Berlin?
I love Berlin. I enjoyed very much the last time. The last time I went to see some historical places, Berlin Wall and Brandenburg Gate, and also I loved Berlin.
Good.
And tomorrow you will have a free day. Do you have any plans?
I would love to go to the Brandenburg Gate again. Yeah.
It's just down the road.
It is.
Yeah.
Even me and Jovanka have been there, so it's very nice. So yeah.
And thank you, Gukesh, and
Thank
we
you.
wish you the best of luck in the remainder of your tournament.
Thank you. See you.
And we'll take a look at the highlights. And we have to mention our partners, the FIDE Online Arena, which hosts rated tournaments and games 24 hours per day. Join the arena and you'll get a FIDE ID, a profile on FIDE.com, and access to pro chess community, free access to prize money tournaments, and so much more. So play official games at chessarena.com.
Great start to the day with that brilliant victory by Gukesh. Seems like a really nice, mildly mannered gentleman. So it was great to see him go through, as Wesley So as well. But we got our second match coming up now, and this is another belter of a match. And we have here...
Totally. I mean, it is the Polish fighter Jan-Krzysztof Duda against an in-form Sam Shankland. And this one is going to be epic. It's going to be electrifying. So let's dive in at Jan-Krzysztof's stats. Became a grandmaster at 15 years old. Also 2021 World Cup winner, European Blitz champion, and the recipient of the Polish Gold Cross of Merit. He is one of Poland's superstars. So let's have a look at how Jan-Krzysztof made his way into the final.
Jan-Krzysztof Duda is known as a blitz monster, a player who's always willing to take big risks with staggering capacity to hold his nerve. In what looked like a clash of generations in the first round, he defeated the legendary British #1 Mickey Adams. In round 2, he faced a wonderkind from the younger generation in Germany's Vincent Keimer. If the match was close on paper, it seemed like Duda had other plans, as he defeated Vincent 2-0. In round 3, however, he faced the other player whose journey had been equally as convincing, Richard Rapport. This very open encounter turned in Rapport's favour, and Duda would now have to eliminate former Blitz world champion Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, which he succeeded in doing to reach the finals. Duda faced Rapport one final time, and Richard was just too strong. Can Duda add one line to his already prestigious chess resume?
Fantastic player, Duda. He's got so many titles under his belt already, including that World Cup victory. But his opponent is also a fantastic player, and let's see who Duda's up against. It is Sam Shankland, and Sam was in great spirits yesterday at the opening party, winning many of the games there, and he has got a great record behind him as well. He was the Olympiad gold winner, part of that team, the American team, in 2016. He was a grandmaster at the young age of 20, and just an all-round excellent player. And we can hear more about Sam now in his own words.
Sam Shankland is, in his own words, not a blitz specialist. You could almost say so. In round one, he missed a winning blow against his compatriot Wesley So and came close to creating the sensation, but went on to lose the match. In round two, he powered through one of the most famous faces of online chess, Canada's Eric Hansen. He then went on to defeat another online legend, Peru's #1 player Jose Martinez. His performance against Linnea Dominguez was nothing short of stellar, as he played one of the most memorable mating attacks of the whole event and won his match. In the semis, his experience got the better of speed specialist Andrew Tang, and Sam got his rematch against So for the first prize. Wesley proved to be the better player there, but Sam nonetheless was very convincing throughout. Will he be able to improve on his performance this week?
We will find out as we are less than 1 minute away from the start of play. Jan-Krzysztof Duda, well, he's renowned for his fighting spirit. He always wants to win the game, whatever comes his way. And Sam Shankland, he's as tough as nails, renowned for his hard work, opening preparation. If there's an area of chess, for sure, Sam has studied it.
Yes, and Sam did really well to qualify for this event. He played some excellent chess, and he's going to need to keep that level of chess up to beat the brilliant Duda. Duda is a class act, as Sam is, and this is going to be a very exciting matchup. The advantage is with Duda in the first game because he has the white pieces. If Sam can get a result here, it'll be a great start for Sam. And let's see, 10 seconds to go. I wonder what we're going to get on the board. We're going to find out soon. Will it be some crazy sacrificial opening, or is it going to be something a bit more slower, Jovanka? What do we reckon?
Well, you take a look at the heart rates. They are pumping. They are very calm at the minute. 84 for Sam and 80 for Jan-Krzysztof. And we are off. And it is a King's Pawn opening, and Sam playing very sharp chess, going for Sicilian.
Great to see. This is one of the sharpest and most exciting openings you can get, and Sam is always up for a challenge. It's one of the reasons I really like his play. And Duda as well is coming with a very famous line. This line here was actually favored by Bobby Fischer with the black pieces. And Sam, another American player, must be a bit of a fan of Bobby Fischer, but they've decided to play a bit more sensible here. Black did not grab a pawn there, which would have been a big mistake. Pretty standard Sicilian position. I really hope we're going to have the kings going different ways here, Jovanka. Castling on other sides of the board.
We will see, because there we see Duda just move his queen to support the center, and he is getting ready to move that king to the left. And where's Sam going to go? Okay, the knight develops. Okay, it's the moment of truth here. Are we going to see the king move? Are we going to see a trade of knights?
Well,
no, the king has moved to the left, Simon. And the black king moved to the right.
Woohoo! Move
That's
to the left,
war.
move to the right. Bit of dancing going on with the two kings there. And the reason we like this so much is when the kings go on opposite sides of the board in chess, you normally have a more attacking game. We love attacks. We love tactics, because you can now throw your pawns towards your opponent's king without weakening your own king, because your king is on the other side of the board. That is called a pawn storm.
And
here it comes. The storm is brewing.
it is brewing, and there we see it on the board. Duda's plan is maybe he might lift the H pawn 2 squares to join its siblings, and then just push a pawn to the G5 square, crack open some lines. When you are attacking, you really need to open up those lines for those heavy pieces, the rooks and the queens, to infiltrate.
And Sam now having to think, maybe trying to recall his theory. Both players' heart rates are actually pretty good here. They're under 100. I would be about 240, I reckon, if I was playing this game, especially on the black side, because it looks very dangerous for Sam here. As Jovanka mentioned, white is ready to push one of those pawns again and open up the black king. So Sam needs to find a way to try and stop the black king from opening up. He's going for a counter-attack. It looks quite slow though, Jovanka, this move.
It does look slow, but then again, what did he have? He can't just grovel this type of position. You can't curl up in a ball because it's too wild. So, well, Sam is perhaps thinking about just using the open C line, developing his pieces. Wow, he's got nerves of steel. And there we can see Sam, his heart rate is going up to 99. And, well, interesting choice by Jan-Krzysztof. He just wants to play this G4, G5 pawn push and just crack open the G line. And, well. Sam making a very committal move, giving up the D5 square for white knight to hop into. That is brave stuff.
The valuation bar really didn't like Sam's move there, but that was the move I would have played as well. Probably a bad sign if I was going to play it, but there is a problem here, and there is white's attack. Sam calmly takes a pawn in the center, and look at that, the other pawn rolls up. This is what we're saying about the pawn storm. The storm is happening, and it looks like the black king will be the piece that's going to be opened up more than the white king. And in chess, it's all about king safety. Checkmate ends the game. So you want to get your opponent's king. White is trying to do that by forcing his way through with the pawns to black's king. It looks very scary for Sam here.
It looks tremendously scary for Sam. And the white pawn on G4, it's going to lift up one square. It's going to dislodge the knight. And that's why you see Sam with his head in his hands. He is going into full concentration mode.
Is that little smile there on Duda's face?
Yes.
It looks like a little sly smile there. I think we spotted. That's not a good sign. When your opponent is smiling, be afraid.
And, well, there you can see Sam developing the light squared bishop, and he's given up a pawn. And he's also allowed the white knight to jump into the D5 square. I would grab that pawn, and yes, it's been taken. Now, come on, Duda, open up some more lines. Maybe lift up the other H pawn.
Very scary attack against black's king. You can see the way that Duda very skillfully is slowly opening up lines for his pieces against the black king. Look at the white rook on the right-hand side. It's looking directly at black's king, saying, hello there, I'm going to come to kill you, sir. And he's going to try to open it up more with the other pawn, probably. He's got a bit of time here. Sam playing so bravely, though, to play in this sharp manner. You've got to admire that brave play from him. And
Jan-Krzysztof's just saying, I'm spoilt for choice. I can actually grab that pawn with the queen. Black's position is dire on the dark squares. The bishop is going to move itself to the center and start lining up towards the black king. And Sam trying to shelter his king, but to no avail. And the black knight trying to block some squares up there, but it is Duda who is attacking. The evaluation bar again, just keep an eye on that on the right-hand side, really liking his position, but he's got to find a way through. Can he crack the nuts? His knight jumps into the middle of the board, and Sam eliminates the knight straight away. Good defensive play from Sam, but it still looks so scary here. And it's defending so far for Sam, but it only takes an idea to get rid of the pawns around the black king. And there we see Sam lifting up his f-pawn, but this does have the downside of creating an additional weakness. Look at that pawn on g6 next to the black king. It's got no defenders, so that is now a moving target. Anything possible with the time on the clock, and I still think Sam is doing the best job he can in what could be a bit of a tricky situation. Duda getting now down to under. Oh, that's a very calm move. Grandmaster move there. Oh, just shuffling the king away, just saying, I'm not sure what to do, but I'm just going to play this move. Over to you, Sam. What are you going to play, Sam? And he's got to make a decision soon with 24 seconds on the clock. I would just move the bishop. He's moving the rook to try and defend his king a bit more. Another sensible defensive move from Sam there. And both players eyeing up their clock times, but for Duda, it is a much more pleasant position. Will he line up the 2 rooks and target that weak G-pawn, or will he try to crack open the position using the H-pawn as a lever, or will he simply just develop the light square bishop and he decides to go for the very first option, just pile up on the G-pawn, and now the light square bishop is into the game, it's invited to the party, but only 12 seconds for Duda. Anything can go wrong for him.
All of Duda's pieces, you can look at those rooks on the board, they're lining up and the bishop flies in. They're getting nearer to Sam's king. Can Sam defend this position? He's sacrificed to try and keep a defensive setup. Can Duda break his way through? He's going to move his rook in. Yes. What a move that is from Duda. He's come all the way in. Now Duda is a piece down, but with the attack, and Sam resigns, finding no way to defend the position. Very good game there from Jan-Krzysztof Duda.
Lovely finishing blow off as well, just sacrificing material in order just to devastate the area around Black's king. And there we can see it. Jan-Krzysztof Duda, he takes an early lead, winning with the white pieces. Now Sam will also play with the white pieces, and he is now in a must-win situation. And after that crazy chaotic game, well, he will have to do some serious calming down because his adrenaline must be just running through his veins.
They seemed to be quite under control of their heart rates there, didn't they? They were very calm, both players, in a crazy position. And it was a great game. I mean, Sam, I think, played very bravely there because he knows just how good Duda is at attacking. But he basically said, okay, well, you can come and attack me. And that kind of maybe backfired a little bit there.
It certainly did. We just saw Duda in powerful form, you know, really a very, you know, what could have been a really crazy position. He just navigated all those complications with ease, and he made it look smooth.
He did. You could sort of tell the way he was playing there. He was like just sitting back and, you know, with not much time on the clock, just, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I
like
love that king
small,
shuffle.
That small smile when he...
Yeah, can we do it? Can we do this? No, it didn't work. It didn't work for me anyway. But a star move there was that little king going across. But in general, Duda just seems so strong there. But he had a free attack. I think Sam's opening just didn't really work there as well as he'd wanted to. But let's have a look at some of the highlights now.
And there we can see this is where Duda is just putting on full power. And there we see pawn takes pawn. And the line has been opened, and from then on it was just all about introducing every single piece to the party. And I just loved the little subtleties as well when it needed to. Just tuck the king into the corner, and there we see painful moment there for Sam, and there you can see the shake of the head as the bishop launches itself into the black territory.
Yeah, and this was the end really for Sam, and it was a tough game for Sam. He didn't do too much wrong. I mean, Jan-Krzysztof just got basically the whole game a free attack, and that sometimes happened. Sam never got a chance to get through to Jan-Krzysztof's king, and the reason that Sam resigned there at the end, he was getting checkmated basically.
Yeah, and the rook was either going to be lost as well because the h-pawn was joining into the attack. And well, anyhow, the players haven't had much time to recover from this, and we have 43 seconds and ticking down to the start of the second game. Sam will have the white pieces in a must-win situation. What do you think he should do?
Well, Sam is really good in the opening. I think he just needs to stick to his normal game. It's very tough starting with black against someone like Jan-Krzysztof. If he gets his normal game going, he's very good in the opening, Sam. He's done lots of work on that part of his game. So just do your normal game and wait for your opportunity. You should get one. 10 seconds until the start. Let's just remind everyone, Sam needs to win this game to take it to our first Armageddon knockout game. Can he do it? We'll find out very shortly.
And they are off, and Sam opens with the c-pawn, the English, on the board. And so this is a really kind of positional opening. The battle is very much there in the middle stages of the game. And are we going to see this game transpose into something called the Catalan? Yes. By the advancement of that queen's pawn, it is now a fully fledged Catalan. So now the choice is with Duda. What is he going to do? Capture the pawn, or is he going to hold tight in the center? And he goes for the closed. And Sam, I like this next move. He plays the most committal idea, develops the knight, to that square. This does have the downside, though, that Duda should be capturing that pawn. Oh, he doesn't go for it.
Well, Duda is just trying to play very safely here, which might be a mistake. And Sam now advancing in the center of the board, and Duda could have won a pawn there, maybe should have won a pawn there, because with this move, Sam has a chance to gain a small advantage, but it is still Theory, and Theory says that Black is not in really any trouble at the moment.
No, Black isn't in trouble, but certainly Black is passive, and there we do see Duda. He doesn't have that many lines for his pieces to go to, and the big question for Sam is, you know, should he push that e-pawn one square forward and tag the knight, or perhaps is it now that opportunity just to develop some pieces? But Duda, with his last rook move, is building up to explode things in the center by pushing the c-pawn.
Yeah, this is a waiting tactic really from Duda at the moment, but it only takes Duda one more move to open things up. There's a lot of tension in the middle, and I like this move from Sam. He goes for what Jovanka mentioned, pushing the black knight back, gaining space, and he can now try to aim at Black's king somehow. I'd love to move the h-pawn, something along this line here.
2 squares forward, Simon. Well, instead, Sam is getting ready for the battle that is going to happen in the center, and it centralizes the rook. So White is playing this move in anticipation of Black breaking out with c6, c5.
I think Sam's doing a great job so far in this position, and Duda now does try to break up, but the evaluation bar is very much on Sam's side here. I mean, that can change very quickly. I think it's like in White, because computers tend to like the side with more space here. The queen drops out of the pin. This is a brave move, and now we have some exchanges in the middle. Things are going to clarify quite quickly here. Does the rook come over? No, the knight takes, and that means Black has the potential to move his knight and capture a pawn in the center. I'd probably do that if I was Black here, because the pawn in the center of the board looks very scary for Black's king.
Be careful though, because the diagonal gets opened, and okay, knight takes pawn on the board, and we're going to see mass liquidation in the center. Now Sam captures in the middle, but Black's pieces, they've come to life. The queen standing there on c2 is really uncomfortable opposite the black rook.
Yes, Black's pieces now look to be very well placed, and let's not forget, Black is actually a pawn up at the moment. Sam continuing to develop his pieces though. Very open game, I'd say roughly even here. With that last move, the bishop slips on diagonal towards Black's king. I'd probably want to get my queen, the white queen, off the range of Black's rook here, maybe move it to the right one square as well, and then I can try to win my pawn back in the middle of the board. But all the pieces stay on, or remain on the board here, Jovanka, and it looks like a very double-edged battle at the moment.
Certainly double-edged, you know, once Black develops that knight standing there on the back, then it's all systems are go. I mean, it's going to be very difficult for Sam to actually nurture an advantage. But there's one good thing, that is Duda's clock time is ticking down to the minute mark. That is going to be stressful for the Polish fighter.
Yes, Sam has nearly double the amount of time as Jan-Krzysztof. And you can see this is a thinking pose, which I use quite a lot. I try to really get rid of the world around me so I can sort of focus and meditate on the position in front. And he can see Sam's trying to work out the best way to proceed. And he is just asking the bishop a question, what are you going to do? The bishop captures the knight, but Sam takes that one back. And Duda just brings his pieces into better squares there. Now, White has the advantage of 2 bishops in this position, but Duda has the extra pawn here.
Duda does have the extra pawn. Also, his knights are really active. The knight, especially there in the center, can jump forward to the 3rd row. That is going to be a thorn in Sam's side. And there we see Duda doing great things, just developing all his pieces, and now the queen steps forward. Finally, the 2 rooks are connected, and I suddenly saw the bar shoot up in Black's favor. So it indicates that Duda perhaps had a better opportunity there. But still, the bar is liking Black.
Well, Black has managed to keep his extra pawn, and I think Duda's strategy is not to take too many risks here, just play good, solid moves that are not going to make any mistakes. And Sam has to come up with a plan here, and he's just playing another safety first move. but this is not really changing the assessment of the position, which is black is a pawn up. And what is Duda going to do? He brings his knight right into the middle. They're having a little boogie time there, those knights in the middle, aren't they? They're like boogie boogie in the middle of the board
And
there.
they're having fun. You know, they're poking fun at that bishop there on c3. That bishop needs to move. And Sam, his time is down to 50 seconds. And he retreats his bishop. Okay, another set of rooks leave the board. And black's pieces are so active, and I'm also just wondering, how is he going to deal with this? Because if the rook takes, the knight springs forward.
I think he's blundered there because
has.
whatever he captures with here, black's going to be able to do something pretty nasty. For example, now at this position, the knight comes in, attacking the queen, attacking the bishop.
And the rook had to give itself away for that knight, because otherwise white's position would fall apart on the f2 square. Oh, it's gone horribly wrong for Sam Shankland.
Sam's best chance here is to play quickly because Jan-Krzysztof has under 30 seconds, and you just got to go all in with your pieces. Aim them at your opponent's king. Float them towards. Good move from Sam there. The knight gets nearer to black's king, and black is moving the other way here. He's got to move it back, unfortunately, but you've got to keep the time pressure up against Jan-Krzysztof here.
Beautiful technique from Jan-Krzysztof Duda. First, he blocked the diagonal for the dark square bishop. Now he's offering a trade of light square bishops. Okay, Sam says no, and Duda simply retreats his bishop. But the players now on seconds left. Jan-Krzysztof Duda, 15 seconds. It's about holding your nerve. And Sam retreats his bishop. Just has to survive, has to keep playing on the clock. It's his only chance.
Yeah, keep an eye on the clock there. Jan-Krzysztof is under 10 seconds. He often gets in this situation, but he's got the extra material. And look at that pawn. The black pawn is getting closer and closer, and he wins another pawn there. The knight dives in. It comes back. It's won. It's a little bounty there. And Sam's just got to keep trying to complicate it. It's a very tough position for him. Can he do it? He brings the queen over. He's not yet creating many chances here.
No, he's not, but he pushes his pawns on the king's side. But unfortunately, white's position is completely tied down to stopping the advance of that d pawn. And I'm expecting Duda just to come in with his knight and ask a question to the queen. And now Sam, 13 seconds and ticking down. Okay, knight takes pawn. Okay. Well, there's pinning and there's perhaps winning.
Well, I think he had to try and get rid of that pawn, but there's another pin on the board, and that's a deadly pin. Sam resigns in a bad position there. Obviously upsetting for Sam, but let's remember, you do get another chance. You lose one match, you go into the lower bracket, and you get your second chance. And Jan-Krzysztof, well, you've got to admire the way he played there, Jovanka.
It's just powerful performance. And there we see the final score in the match. In the end, it was 2-0 to Jan-Krzysztof Duda. And it all kind of started with that superb first game from Jan-Krzysztof.
Yeah, he just put Sam under so much pressure there, and he seemed so calm as well. I mean, both players' heart rates were quite low there, but Jan-Krzysztof, just the way he was moving to pieces, this is Armageddon chess. This is like really scary. You've got to, I mean, I'd be like this, you know, trying to find the right move, but just like, you know, just calm, just a walk in the park there, nothing to worry about. It was just so calm.
So calm, like you mentioned there, Simon. And let's have a look at some of those highlights. And here is the moment where Jan-Krzysztof Duda, he's won a pawn, he's broken out, and he's doing everything to perfection, connecting the rooks, and it's around about here where Sam goes wrong and allows Jan-Krzysztof to activate the knights.
Yeah, that's right. And you can see in this situation, this was a real killer move from Jan-Krzysztof. He took the rook off, and the problem was now, look at this black knight. The black knight can jump into the middle of the board, attacking the queen, attacking the bishop, and Sam had to give up points there. He gave his rook up for the knight, losing 2 points in the process, and points count in chess because the player with the more points has the stronger army.
Yeah, and also just bearing in mind like how open the position was, and here we see the final nail in the coffin. Sam grabbing material but finds himself in a nasty pin, and just when you think he's out of the frying pan, well, he's not. He's still in the hot oil because now comes another pin with deadly effect.
out of the frying pan
Into the fire.
And we now have an interview with Sam, and let's go over there straight away.
It was a tough match. Was there any reason to everything what happened today?
Yeah, I mean, the first game I think I was pretty cleanly outplayed. Didn't check this line. He seemed like he knew what he was doing, and I never really liked my position. The second game was the issue. I know White is much better than this line. Like after e5, his only move is dc4, bc4, knight d5, and I think even there White's probably a little better, but at least it's messy and interesting. The way he played with knight e8, as far as I know, Black's supposed to be much worse, and I should have been able to put up more of an initiative than I did, but somehow it didn't really pan out.
Do you think it was rather his preparation or bad luck for you today?
The first game, I think, was largely his preparation. I just got totally outplayed, and he deserved that win fully. Just nothing else to it. I don't like to say bad luck. I mean, I should have had a very good position, and I failed to execute it. Don't say that's bad luck. That means you suck. So, yeah, it's just a rough day at the office.
Right, well, you got one more chance. How are you going to overcome it?
I'll remind you that I lost the first match in the qualifier event as well, and here I am. I'm very much able to bounce back, and I plan on doing exactly that.
I like your fighting spirit. Any plans for tomorrow as of your rest day?
Just try to forget about it, enjoy Berlin a little bit, and then I'll be ready to play the day after.
Right, Sam. Well, I got two more questions for you off the topic. Tell me, you must know better than anyone, what's happening in US chess?
I don't know, we're having good tournaments and we have a lot of good players. I'm not sure I understand the question. What do you mean with what's happening?
Do you have any opinion on what's going on right now as difficult things?
I do, but I'm not going to share it here.
That's very fair. Do you have any opinion on another topic on Hans Niemann being back to chess, online chess?
Again, I don't do much online chess. The drama is not me. I'm sure there's some people who, enjoy this stuff a lot. I just don't. I stay away from it and I try to stick to my own training and playing.
Right. Well, do you think it's good that he's back to streaming chess, which is chess entertainment?
Whatever he wants to do with his life, it's not my business.
All right, Sam. Well, thank you so much, and back to you guys.
Well, we're lucky here to have Jan-Krzysztof in the studio. So first of all, congratulations. And you made it look kind of easy there. I mean, you seem very relaxed.
No, I was anything but relaxed. I actually forgot, this feeling of nervousness and in this Armageddon series. So, it was a nice reminder. I think I think my opponent slightly underperformed, and it's actually easy to do this in Armageddon. And I did, for example, the very same thing with my in my matches against Richard Rapport in Europe Continental. So it's I guess it's mostly about not doing like too well, but also not doing too badly. Just to keep this like I don't want to say minimal level because it will sound very harsh, but I mean Wesley also did kind of similar thing earlier.
And talk us through your first game, because to our eyes it looked like it could be a potentially really complicated position, but then you just made it look easy.
Yes, I mean, of course, after e4, some could have played like anything, but of course, Nodirbek was it's always like one of the toughest nuts to crack. And I wanted to do, this, to do that, and then in the end I decided, okay, I'm gonna play bishop g5 and see what happens. And that was basically my entire strategy for this game. And I have to admit that I'm not really, into this theory, especially after knight c6, knight takes d4, and I was freestyling, but but I think my position was also kind of easier to play because at least I had, this f4, g4 in, and then I got clearly better position, probably winning. Yeah. I don't think I converted it, in the best possible way, but I guess it was decent enough.
Well, you looked like you were enjoying the position because we saw you give a slight smile.
Yes, of course I was enjoying my position. I was in total command, but actually beforehand I didn't, imagine to have such good position in such short period of time. So, that's why I was smiling, I guess.
And talk us through your second game, because there, you chose a closed Catalan, very solid opening.
Yes, actually, some made a course, I think, not that long ago, about this knight f3 c4. I didn't buy it, I didn't see it, but I thought, that he might play this, but I didn't prepare a real surprise. I mean, I played the c6 like many times before. The main idea is, to avoid this, very long variations that could happen in Catalan, and just to have a game going and get a game going. So and that's basically it. I mean, it was very nervous position, difficult to play for both sides, but I was having extra pawn d5, so I was happy.
You were happy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we can see the heart rates here, and both your heart rates were actually pretty low there. I mean, 119 versus Sam's 121, and does that surprise you? It was so low. Were you feeling more nervous than that during the game?
Yeah, I definitely was feeling more nervous. I don't know, maybe it's some issue with the watch. I mean, because it's like kind of impossible for me to believe, that I had only 119. So but I was, pretending, to be cool, and not to show emotions. I mean, of course, I'm very bad in this, but
you look pretty cool.
What to do?
Yeah, we thought you were very cool there. So
I wasn't.
No, okay. Turmoil was going on. And how do you get into the kind of zone for something as quick and fast as this? Because it's not like normal chess. It's bang. You have to. You're straight in there. Is there any way you sort of prepare your mind for that?
Not really. I just enjoy, playing Bliss. So for me, it's the most entertaining time control. I mean, at least regular time control. So I'm just enjoying each game I'm playing, more or less, let's say. I don't think I have to do any psychological tricks to keep myself going. I mean, I'm just enjoying it. That's it.
Most important thing.
Yeah.
Talking about psychological tricks, if we take a look at the brackets, and we see that you're going to be playing against Gukesh, so presumably you've played him a fair few times.
Yes, I mean, of course, he's an extremely strong player. I have won some, I have lost some, of course, but in general, I like playing this young guys, so it will be very interesting.
So you're promising us some fighting chess, some interesting chess?
I mean, once you made such promise and you play 2 boring games, it's like, you never know, but I think there is high chance of that, yes.
Yeah, I think so too, judging by both of the forms that you both displayed today. And let's have a look at today's match highlights. And time to mention one of our partners, IT.com Domains. The official partner of the Armageddon Championship Series is IT.com Domains, a domain registry like no other. It provides a platform for anyone to create innovative domains and effectively showcase their online presence. Don't miss this opportunity. Visit IT.com today and create your unique online image.
Yes, a good day to start us off in the grand final of Armageddon. We haven't actually seen Armageddon yet. I'm sure we will as the days go on. And I mean, a solid start, but we do have 4 more players tomorrow, don't we?
We do have 4 more players, and take a look at these juicy matchups. And there we see Nodirbek Abdusattorov, just 18 years old. He's been World Rapid Champion. At the age of 17, faces off against the most creative player around, Richard Rapport. And then we have a battle. It's going to be a revenge match. Humpy Koneru against Bibisara Assaubayeva. Now, every time they've played, Bibisara has emerged the victor. Will Humpy Koneru turn it around for the 3rd time?
I mean, it's going to be really exciting. I mean, that match, Humpy versus Bibisara, they've got different styles, haven't they? I mean, Humpy likes positional chess, so she's going to have to try to keep the waters very calm. And Bibisara likes a bit of chaotic madness on the board, loves the tactics. So it's a clash, water against fire,
Yeah.
we can say there. And also Richard Rapport's, I mean, the guy with the nicest hair in chess. Can we say that?
We
Just
can
did.
say that.
So yeah, he's got that rock star look, and he's always a fun player to watch because he's coming up with crazy ideas, exciting chess, and that'll be really, really cool, that match, just to see what he's going to do.
Yeah, and I was really impressed by the way he won the Europe and Africa series, because he just came up with a system, he refined it to perfection and just demolished everyone. So tomorrow is going to be absolutely incredible.
It is. Very much looking forward to it, and make sure you watch as well, and maybe we'll even get an Armageddon tomorrow, and I really hope so, because that is where it gets super quick. But thank you so much, and I'm going to say goodbye myself. I'm Grandmaster Simon Williams, and
Jovanka, Houska, anything can and will happen tomorrow, so don't miss it.